There is something happening inside your dog right now that most owners never find out about. It has nothing to do with what you feed them, how much you walk them, or how well they are trained. It is invisible, it is silent, and it has been building inside your dog every single day that you have been stressed. Your dog is carrying your emotional weight, not as a metaphor, not as a figure of speech, biologically, measurably, in their body, and the research that proves this is some of the most startling science to come out of animal behavior studies in the last decade. Let's start with the study that changed everything. A team of researchers at Linköping University in Sweden wanted to test something nobody had properly measured before. They wanted to know whether the stress levels of dogs and their owners actually synchronized, not just in a single moment, but across months. So they did something clever. They measured cortisol, the hormone your body produces under stress, not from blood or saliva, but from hair, because here is the thing about hair cortisol. It builds up gradually as your hair grows. It is a biological diary of how stressed you have been for the past several months, written in the strands themselves. They collected hair samples from 58 dog and owner pairs at 2 separate points in the year. And what they found was extraordinary. The cortisol levels of the dogs and their owners were moving in sync. When the owner's long-term stress went up, the dog's long-term stress went up. When it came down, theirs came down too. This was not a coincidence. The researchers controlled for the dog's own activity levels, personality traits, and lifestyle. The strongest predictor of a dog's long-term stress was not their environment, not their breed, not even their training. It was their owner. You are not just your dog's person, according to science. You are their emotional climate. Now here is where it gets even harder to ignore. Researchers at the University of Bristol wanted to push further. They knew dogs could likely detect human emotions, but they wanted to know what that detection actually did to the dog's internal state. So they collected sweat samples from people, both while they were calm and while they were acutely stressed. Then they exposed dogs to those samples. The results were striking. Dogs who were exposed to the smell of a stressed human became measurably more pessimistic. Not just nervous, not just alert, pessimistic. The researchers measured this through a standard behavioral test that tracks whether an animal is in an optimistic or pessimistic emotional state. Dogs who had smelled stressed human sweat were significantly slower to approach situations where a reward might be waiting. They were less willing to take a chance, less hopeful, more guarded. And these were not even the dog's own owners. These were complete strangers, strangers whose stress, odor alone was enough to shift a dog's entire emotional outlook. Think about what that means for your dog, who lives with you, who sleeps near you, who breathes the same air you breathe, who has been sitting beside you on every hard day, every anxious night, every stressful morning before work. They have not just been witnessing your stress. They have been absorbing it, chemically, neurologically, every single day. And they cannot ask you what is wrong. They cannot understand why the threat signal keeps coming. They just know that something in their world feels unsafe. And they have no way to explain why. A separate study from the University of Naples took this even further. They found that dogs exposed to human fear odors showed higher heart rates, more stress behaviors, and sought significantly more reassurance from their owners compared to dogs exposed to calm or happy odors. The difference was immediate and clear, and critically, this response appeared to be partly innate. Puppies as young as 3 months old showed the same pattern. This is not something dogs learn. This is something evolution built into them for tens of thousands of years. Dogs have lived alongside humans, and at some point in that long shared history, detecting a stressed or frightened human became survival information. A threatened human meant a threatened pack. A calm human meant a safe world. But here is the question. None of these studies answer, and it is the one that matters most to you right now. If your stress is contagious to your dog, what does that actually look like in real life? Because it probably does not look like what you expect. Your dog is not going to sit down and look worried. They are going to show it the way dogs show everything, in behavior, in patterns. A dog carrying elevated chronic stress often becomes clingy in ways that feel like affection. They follow you room to room, not because they want to play, but because their nervous system will not let them settle. They are not being cute. They are self-regulating. They may become reactive on walks, startling more easily at sounds or strangers than they used to. They may have disrupted sleep, digestive issues, or increased licking and chewing behaviors that look like bad habits. But those behaviors are actually self-soothing, the same way humans bite their nails or scroll their phones at midnight. They may stop eating well during the hardest periods of your life, and because none of these symptoms come with a label that says stress from owner, most people never make the connection. They treat the symptoms and never find the source. So what do you actually do with this? You cannot eliminate stress from your life. Nobody is asking you to, but you can become aware of what your body is constantly broadcasting. You can create deliberate pockets of calm that your dog can read. Not performance, not pretending everything is fine, just intentional moments where you physically slow down, where your breathing deepens, where your muscles soften, because your dog reads all of it. A slow exhale you do not even think about lands in their nervous system as a signal that the threat has passed. A quiet 10 minutes, where you sit without urgency, tells them something their brain has been waiting all day to hear. You have always known your dog loves you. What this research tells you is that they are paying attention in ways that go far deeper than you ever realized. Their body is synchronized to yours in ways that science is only beginning to fully map. And that connection, that invisible biological thread between you, works both ways, which means the kindest thing you can ever do for your dog has nothing to do with food, toys, or training. It is learning how to come home to yourself, so that when they press close to you at the end of the day, what you are giving them is peace. This is Barksight, uncovering the science, behavior, and secrets behind the dogs we love. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share it with another dog lover, and subscribe to Barksight for more fascinating discoveries about the canine world. And before you go, tell me something about your dog in the comments below. I read every comment. Until next time, keep exploring the world beyond the bark.